Hey everybody, thanks for joining me this evening for the 2022 Stories Ultra Pre-Race Meeting. My name is John LaCroix. I'm the owner and race director of the Human Potential Running Series, here to kind of round out our week of preparation as we head into the 2022 Stories Ultra Marathon. If you haven't already, please do check out our website, www.humanpotentialrunning.com. We have 13 events that span the entire calendar year in Colorado, Arkansas, and Texas. Head on over to our events page on our website. You can see the map of where all of our events are located, as well as our entire 2022 lineup. We'd absolutely love to have you join us for more of our races after your adventure this weekend at Stories Ultra Marathon. It would be a real honor and privilege of mine to continue to be your race director beyond this weekend. So please consider joining us. It would be an absolute thrill to have you. Let's take a look here. Again, this is the pre-race meeting for the Stories Ultra Marathon, taking place on Saturday and Sunday, February 12th and 13th, 2022 in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The event is going to be hosted once again for our 5th year at Cheyenne Mountain State Park. This is pretty much across the street from Fort Carson. It is in southwest Colorado Springs. We still have plenty of room open in the race if anybody would like to register. Online registration is going to remain open through Tuesday, February 8th at 11:59 p.m. At that point, once we hit midnight, online registration closes and we go to race day registration. We will have space for race day registrations on Saturday for the 30-hour and the 15-hour, and we'll also have room for race day registrations for the 6-hour on Sunday. Yes, we are well aware that it is Super Bowl Sunday. I am a lifetime Patriots fan. Having won 6 championships, I never forget when Super Bowl Sunday is. We scheduled this year's event on this particular weekend before the NFL decided on their final date for this year's Super Bowl in LA. So, well aware, if we had it this past weekend, we would have butted up against some Pikes Peak Roadrunners events. If there's another road race in Colorado Springs this weekend, either way, we were going to conflict with somebody. Thank you for continuing to remind us that it's Super Bowl weekend. We are well aware. And as we say here at HRRS, the choice is yours to run or don't. I want to thank all of our sponsors for supporting us again for another year at the Human Potential Running Series. Base Performance out of Boulder, Colorado. They are our electrolyte sponsor. We'll have Base Hydro and Amino at the aid station for you to enjoy. Also want to thank our friends at El Dorado Natural Springs Water for supporting us since we started in 2014. R&K Running and Walking with running stores in Parker and Castle Rock. If you're coming down from the Denver area and you forgot something and it kind of jogs your memory on the way down to the race site, you can hop on into R&K there in Castle Rock, their new store in Castle Rock, and grab whatever you need last minute. Trail Toes, Big Things Crewing, Life Alive Cairo. Ultra is, again, one of our sponsors this year. We're so glad to have them on board. And our newest sponsor this year is Athletic Brewing Company. We're going to have some of their non-alcoholic brew at the aid station start-finish line area for you to enjoy throughout the event. Please help yourself. Under my desk here, I've got 3 cases of Athletic Brewing non-alcoholic beverage here in my office. I'm so excited to get it out from near my feet. Please do drink it at the race. Thank you. A little bit about the Human Potential Running Series here to kick things off before we get into the real meat and potatoes of our race information. Again, if this is your first time running with the Human Potential Running Series, or if it's your first trail and or ultra marathon running event, I just want to give you a little bit of information about who we are and what we're doing at the Human Potential Running Series, because we are different. The Human Potential Running Series was founded in 2014 on the belief that everyone has their own reservoir of untapped human potential, and that the right mix of challenge and adversity can allow you to tap into it. Real growth occurs right at the edge of what you know you can do and what you think you can do. And these principles have their roots in transcendentalism and their branches in modern experiential learning with groups like Outward Bound, Knowles, Project Adventure, just to name a few. And we believe that they can help our runners become better humans. Our mission is to connect people with this potential through a series of races designed to challenge the body and enhance the spirit. Our events celebrate the best in old school mountain and ultra running traditions, and no two are alike. From the Endure 12-hour to the Sangre de Cristo 200-mile, each has its own distinct personality. So here is what you will find at all of our events. A human-first approach. We host races that put people before profits and focus on creating a memorable experience. You will not find a live band playing at the top of a mountain pass at an HPRS race, but you will find a community that values accountability and challenge ready to support you. Experienced leadership. HPRS is proud to feature a well-rounded advisory board whose members possess a variety of ultra experiences from all over the country. They bring a diverse perspective to our series to make sure that runners are the primary focus of our events. Myself, I have over a decade of race direction experience in the mountain and ultra running world. I believe this is my 65th race directed in my career. And I bring the best practices of races across the country to the forefront of the Colorado trail racing community. This is also a space for growth. Our events are designed to afford you an opportunity to grow as an individual with the idea that personal growth promotes positive social change for the collective. Here you'll find yourself amongst other free thinkers looking to improve self-awareness and increase their positive impacts on the greater community. All of our events are designed to provide opportunities for people to challenge themselves within a community where adventure and accountability are valued. Make no mistake, our races are tough, but we work hard to support you along your journey. These guiding principles form the foundation of everything we do at the Human Potential Running Series. Challenge by choice. We welcome all athletes to HPRS events, and we ask that they challenge themselves and participate fully in the experience, from reviewing the course maps ahead of time to engaging with their fellow competitors and volunteers during the event. We believe that this adds value and opportunity for growth for the individual athlete and the whole athlete field. With challenge by choice comes respect for all thoughtful choices, and we respect your decision to take on as much or as little as you so choose on event day, keeping in mind the rules and policies of each unique event. Signing up, deciding your race-specific goals, and the decision to not continue are all your choice, choices we aim to respect. I ask you to please check out our full value contract within the participants guide that is in the Google Drive folder. I'll show you where to find that in a minute. We are also building respect locally. We design our races with the utmost respect for our runners, local residents, businesses, and local and federal land management agencies. Our goal is to enhance the trail running community in the towns we host events in and to create a positive experience for all involved. Connecting through community. We encourage all of our runners and volunteers to forge new friendships, share stories, and care for each other. After all, we are all in this together, and it takes a village to get you all to that finish line. We recognize that the runners who make up the Human Potential Running Series community are unique, and therefore our community may look and feel a little different than the general trail and ultra running community that you're accustomed to. We also strive to give back to the communities we host races in by supporting select nonprofits and local trail work efforts. Finally, we have a commitment to equality in sport. We celebrate the efforts of all of our participants equally by focusing on providing a quality experience for all. At HPRS, we do not provide preferential treatment for top finishers. I don't give a shit about the elite. We do not present age group awards or cash prizes. and we leave that inflatable archway up until the very last runner has come through the finish line, of course, unless the wind has other ideas for us. That's a little bit about who we are. We are dedicated to inclusivity, accessibility, and equity here in the trail and ultra running community. Things that are long past overdue, things that we all have a role in working on, and I ask you to please work beside us to ensure a more inclusive, accessible, and equitable sport. Thank you. Let's take a look at some of the information that's already gone out for you folks. First things first is here is, check it out, some information here on the back end. I never share this. I can see at present that only 69% of you have opened the pre-race email. And if I click on this did not open button over here, there's a name of every single person who hasn't. So if you come to the race and you have an issue with something that you are experiencing on race day, chances are, I promise you, in my experience as a professional race director, in all the years that we have engaged somebody who has been unhappy with their experience at the Human Potential Running Series, it is 95% or higher every time a result of them not reading the information. So do yourselves a favor, do us a favor. Please read all of the relevant information associated with the event so that you can adequately prepare for the experience this weekend. Also in that pre-race informational email is a link to this Google Drive, which we've set up here for you runners. Here you will find the, let's see, we got our runner's manual on here. We have our emergency action plan, so you know that we take your health and safety seriously. We also have a sheet here describing to you how to use the 3 different applications that you can use on your phone to live track yourself out on the course. That's to make sure that you don't get lost. We use Colorado Trails Explorer, Gaia GPS, which is subscription-based. Colorado Trails Explorer is free. And if you're an iOS user, you can use the HRRS app to also track yourself live, even when you don't have cell service. And this document will describe to you how to make that happen. Also, we have a carpool sheet. There is one individual on there, a 19-year-old young gentleman from Boulder, who is looking for a ride to the race. Let's see. I'll click on that. Looking for a ride, Josh Taylor. Here's his email address. He's in the 15-hour on Saturday. If you're coming down from Boulder and heading home on Saturday, please reach out to Josh, send him an email so that we can get him a ride to the event. That would be most helpful. Thank you. Also, we have historical finish information on here. Again, first sheet here is for the 30-hour. You can see that if you're in the 30-hour, the average miles that people get is anywhere really from 40 to 80 miles. You can see that we have an average of 5 finishers in the 40 to 49 mile range, and then everybody else seems to be hanging out here with this 60 to 80 miles. So if you're in the 30-hour, you could expect to get somewhere in this area if you're hanging on for the whole ride. Again, here's the finisher stats for the 15-hour. Looks like it's between 30 and 50 miles average for the 15-hour, and our 6-hour event is typically in the 20 to 30 mile range for 6 hours at this event are the average. Again, this is all available to you. We also have a Google map here of, here is our Google map, so you can see where all the trails are. Here's a PDF, our elevation profiles. All of this is available to you. But one of the things I want you folks to familiarize yourselves with, if you don't mind, is the responsibility of all of our runners. Even if you just glance this over and you read nothing else, please read this document paying attention to the top 4 or 5 things on this list. There are 10. These are the 10 top responsibilities of runners here at the Human Potential Running Series. And they are placed in order of importance. So please give that a look. Would really appreciate that. All of this information has been made available to you so that you all can prepare for the event, and show up ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's take a look. What else we got here? Yes, our theme this year. Thank you to the members of the Human Potential Running Series Facebook group, which is different than our Facebook page. We have settled on our theme for 2022. We have a theme every year, and this year's theme is Overcome. We would love it if whatever adversity, whatever challenges you're facing at an event, but also in everyday life, and we know that in today's day and age, there are many challenges that we're all facing on a day-to-day basis. We're asking you to join us at the Human Potential Running Series, and let's overcome these challenges together. We're here to support each other. We're here to go toe-to-toe, mile for mile, across every course. Again, trail and ultramarathon running is analogous to life, and life is analogous to trail and ultramarathon running. So it's our hope that through your experience in being with us at our events this year, you folks will for sure overcome and continue to move in that one direction we all know, which is forward. So here's the itinerary for the rest of the meeting here this evening. We're going to talk about parking, check-in, COVID precautions, bib and swag information. We're going to take a look at the weather, a little bit on safety, and at the end, a small course preview. Even though there is a course preview in your pre-race informational email that has gone out, we're just going to talk a little bit more about the course here because, again, only 69% of you have actually opened the email. So we're going to make sure you folks are all ready to rock and roll. First things first, though, let's take a look at our map of the park. So folks who have joined us at Stories before, and that would be years 2, 3, and 4. This is our 5th annual. So if you used us in years 2, 3, or 4, you are used to going down here, down this hill, to the Meadows group camping area. We are not in the Meadows this year. We are not in the Meadows this year. So if you've joined us previously and you've gone down that hill to the Meadow, we are not in the Meadow this year. This year, we're back to where we were in year 1, which is at the top of the hill in the Raptors Glen campground. The map here on your screen right now is available in the participants guide that was emailed to you and is in the runner's drive. And when you show up, everybody's going to come up here to start. You're going to come up the hill. There is a gate at this location. It will be open. We're also going to have some corrugated laminated signs out there to direct you uphill as well. If you're in the 30 hour, we're going to have you park in these spots first. So 30-hour runners are going to have preference for these slots. Why? Because they're camping for 2 nights. A lot of these 30-hour runners, they take breaks during the event to take a nap in their vehicle, nap in their tent. So we want to make sure all the 30-hour runners are as close to the start-finish line, which is right here, as they can possibly be so that we can care for them expertly and allow them to get whatever aid it is that they need at all hours of the day around the clock. This is 30 hours around the clock that they are running. So we're going to have 30-hour runners park here close to the campground. Everybody else, you're going to start by coming down towards this amphitheater area. You can see the amphitheater here. But we're going to have you come down towards the amphitheater, and you're basically going to drive around the circle and come back, and we're going to park car 1 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So everybody's going to park in the right-hand lane facing out. So everybody will be facing out when you park. Okay? This is so that when you're done, you are just going to drive out into the left-hand lane and egress this way. So nobody's going to park on the left-hand side. Everybody's going to park on the right. Okay. We also have this other lot down here that we'll fill. There is a bathroom here that is heated. I would say it's heated to about 60 degrees, 50s or 60s inside, but that'll be open. Also, I'll probably try to get the camper services building open down here that has even more showers and more facilities. But our overflow parking is down here in this area. So Should we be full up top, we're going to instead send you this way. I don't expect us to fill the upper lot on Saturday or Sunday. And that's really why this event is split up into 2 days. The 30 and 15 hours have run of the roost here on Saturday, and then the 15-hour runners will clear out. The 30-hour runners who long ago quit, there will be some. And then on Sunday, when the 6-hour runners come out, when the 6-hour runners come out, we'll park you wherever available up here first, and then again, overflow down the hill. Mike Hartley has a question. Will it be okay to access car between loops in the 30-hour, making sure to check in and out? Yes, Mike, absolutely. That's why we want to park you guys in this area here first so that you have close access to your vehicles throughout. You can access your vehicle, your tent, as many times as you need. Again, as long as you check in and out and we know where your whereabouts are. So if you're going to go camp in your vehicle for a couple hours, or if you're going to drive off site to go sleep at home and come back in the morning, please let us know that you've left the premises. That is totally okay to do, by the way. Just want to let everybody know that it's okay. It's definitely okay to leave the venue if you're in the 30 or 15 hour, especially if you're in the 30 hour. If you come out Saturday and I'm going to run till noon, and then I'm going to go leave and come back around 6 o'clock and run all night, you can do that. Totally up to you. The only miles that will count are the miles that you run in between the 30-hour time window. Same thing for the 15 hours, same thing for the 6 hours. So it's not like 30 hours accumulated over the course of 4 days. The race is 30 hours long. If you're here running, you're accumulating miles. If you're off sleeping in a hotel, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. Again, the parking situation, this is all highlighted in the runner's manual. Yes, Jacob, your 30-hour crew can indeed move on and off site. Amanda, do you have a preferred location for 6-hour runners that are being dropped off? Yes. If you are in the 6-hour and you are being dropped off by family or friends, we prefer that the dropping off happen right here. And then you will end up having to walk up this hill and come to the race site. But this is really the best place for somebody to turn around, let you out of the car, and then peace out while you walk up the hill and come to the race site. Now, I hate that I have to say this for trail and ultra runners, but every race, when we tell people park and then come get your stuff and then walk back to your car, everybody wants to park right up close to check-in and get all their things with their car parked right there at check-in. Seriously, you are trail and ultra marathon runners. If you can't walk the 150 yards to get your shit and then go put it back in your car, you are seriously in the wrong sport. So I don't want to hear any belly aching about having to walk anywhere. I have to mention that. It happens every time. But yeah, this is the best place. Have whoever's dropping you off kind of bang a Yui here, as we would say in Boston. Bang a Yui, and then you'll walk up the hill. You could also walk up right here. This is the actual course. But either way, have them drop you off at the bottom of the hill so we don't get you stuck or have anything going on up at the top of the hill. But that's a look at parking again. All of that is in the runner's manual. We're still in need of some volunteers for the weekend. Here is our volunteer roster. I have highlighted in big, bold red letters these vacancies that we don't need for help with for sure. Course marking on Friday pays $20 an hour in HPRS race credits for 4 hours of work, so you'll make $80 to spend on HPRS races if you help us out with course marking. We need one other volunteer, not important, but we could use a hand for packet pickup Saturday morning, 4:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Also, we are short some timing staff overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's midnight to 6 a.m. I'll tell you that typically there's only 4 or 5 runners out on the course during this time. So if you don't mind sleeping outside, just curled up in your nice warm sleeping bag, And if somebody comes and goes, you're marking stuff down. That's the job for you. We also need a little bit of help with timing on Sunday from 6 a.m. to noon. Actually, that's 6 to 2. But we could use a hand with timing on Sunday. Still need a hand with setup and tear down Friday afternoon, 2 to 6. And we have these medical vacancies, medical volunteer vacancies. I'm a wilderness first responder, so I'll be there all day. Emily, the assistant race director, is also a certified wilderness first responder. She will also be here most of the day. So if anything happens, we got you really well covered. Please don't see these medical vacancies and have that alarm you. Saturday, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., there will be 3 medical personnel on site at all times. Otherwise, there will be 2 medical personnel on site at all times. This is just so that we can get some reprieve. Either way, hey, if you'd like to volunteer, you do earn race credits. If you're a course marker, course sweep, if you are a medical volunteer or you're volunteering between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., it pays $20 an hour in HRRS race credits that you can spend on discounted and perhaps complimentary race entry fees for your time. Everything else is $10 an hour. We'd love to have you. Of course, volunteering is a huge part of trail and ultramarathon running. It can't happen without you. So let's talk about check-in. When you show up for the event, you're going to come check in with us right at the start-finish line. I'm going to show you all the things that we're going to give you. First things first, we are cupless. There will be no paper cups. There's no paper cups or anything like that on our course. We are 100% cupless. Everybody's going to get one of these collapsible cups that you can use throughout the event for soda, water, electrolyte. You can put food in it, whatever you want to do. When you show up, everybody's going to get one of these collapsible cups. You're also going to get an HRRS camp mug. These are enamel, not dishwasher safe, mind you, but we're going to give you one of these. You're also going to get a water bottle, compliments of our friends at Ultra. This is a co-branded water bottle, so we'll give you one of those. You're also going to get one of our bracelets. It says I Move Mountains on one side, and on the other it says Forward Together. This was our theme last year. We got plenty of these left. We're going to keep giving those out until we're gone. Everybody's also going to get a die-cut HRRS magnet. No stickers this year, just magnets. This is a nice little magnet. And we also have die-cut Stories Ultra magnets. So no sticker this year. We're going magnets. Decorate your fridge, kids. Also, you're going to get your choice of a multifunctional neck scarf, also referred to as a bluff, because we can't use the other word. It's trademarked. We have these. These are from Orange Mud, co-branded. These are my favorite. That's awesome. So you'll be able to choose from that. We've got our co-branded Ultra ones. We've got another co-branded Orange Mud one. We've got these purple ones. Have your choice. Everybody gets a bluff to take home with you as well. So we're going to put all the various different options for you out there, and you guys are just going to be able to take whichever one that you want. And of course, you're going to get your bib. This is our bib design for this year's Stories Ultra. Got a little purple monster on there. Those who know. Those who don't will. But that's what you're going to get at check-in. Bib and swag. All of that you get right off the bat. You can bring your stuff to your car, get set up, whatever you want to do. And then Chris Taylor had a question. Has the volunteer info email gone out? Only if you're working the aid station. I haven't gotten to all the others yet. They'll be out tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Next, COVID precautions. We're back to normal here at HRRS. Here's what I ask. If you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. If you are not vaccinated, that's your choice. Power to you. Way to go. Awesome. If you're unvaccinated, I'm going to ask you to please be respectful of all of us around you. We are still the only major race series on the entire planet who has had 0 cancellations through the COVID-19 pandemic. 0 cancellations in 2020. 0 cancellations in 2021. Over a dozen races every year. No cancellations and 0 reports of a positive COVID-19 transmission through those events. Why? Because we've enacted common sense COVID precautions, and we have a great community of runners that care about each other and follow those precautions and procedures because we just care about each other. If you're unvaccinated, we're going to ask you, please, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. I know that we're outside. I don't give a shit if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, any of those. I don't care what your political affiliations are. I don't care if you wear your underwear backwards or upside down. I really don't care. If you are unvaccinated, please wear a mask. I have still personally not gotten COVID, and I do not want it. And I risked a lot for my personal health to continue to race direct during these times. Just be a good person. I got an email today from a runner who tested positive from COVID and wanted to let me know that she'll no longer be coming to the event because of her positive test. And I thanked her in her email so very much for thinking about the greater community and everybody else and not wanting to spread COVID. So if you've been COVID positive at all over the course of the last 10 days, please don't come. If you're unsure if you have COVID, but you know that you've been exposed to somebody who is positive with COVID-19, please stay home. Please continue to use common sense decisions that affect all of us, please. That's all that we're asking. I don't need to know if you're vaccinated or not. I don't need to see a card. I don't need to see an app. There's no colored bracelets. It's just if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. If you're unvaccinated, please wear a mask. You can touch the water coolers again. This means you can pour your own water. You can pour your own electrolyte drink. However, we are still doing away with this lube chip game. If you don't know what a lube chip is, I'm going to tell you. Lube chips are when somebody comes into the aid station, they dive their fist into the Vaseline or Trail Toes. They wipe all that goop around their nether bits, and the next thing you do, that you see them diving their hand into the chip bowl or the candy bowl. And if you've never seen it happen, I promise you it happens a hell of a lot more than you think. It's really disgusting, and in order to continue to prevent the spread of lube chips, we'll be using tongs and scoops for handling food. So again, nobody should be reaching for food at the aid station. We're still going to be serving you with tongs and scoops for maximum hygiene. Let's take a look at the weather. All right, Friday, we're supposed to have highs around 50 degrees, and then it's going down to 22. Could be a little gusty Friday night. Winds out of the north. Saturday is, this forecast has been all over the place, and I want you guys to continue to monitor the Saturday forecast. Last I saw, this was changed already. Now they're calling for a high of 39 on Saturday and not 46, with scattered afternoon rain and snow showers. They are not calling for any kind of accumulation. But it will be showery, it will be gray, and there will be times of sun. This is going to be one of those races where Colorado weather is on. It's on. We're going to have a little bit of everything, kids. We are. I'll get to that, Jacob. Good question. So Saturday is kind of a toss-up. It's going to be partly cloudy with scattered rain and snow showers, winds shifting. Anywhere from 40 to 47 degrees for a high. Saturday night, it goes down to 19. Winds calm down. And Sunday, we're looking at a high of 54 degrees. That's not what we want. We want this one. So Sunday's looking like the best day. Sunny, warm, 54 degrees. Well, what does this mean? Well, man, I hate to break it to you, kids, but Cheyenne Mountain State Park is known for having these freeze-thaw cycles during this time of year. So that means that there is a deep layer of permafrost at Cheyenne Mountain State Park. I'd say it's probably about 3 or 4 inches deep. When it is cold at night, it freezes, and of course when it warms up in the 50s in the afternoon, it will melt. which means that there is a possibility that there could be some mud. And the mud is usually present on the blue loop. If the blue loop gets excessively muddy to the point that we are just going to tear it up and do some horrible damage to the beautiful trails at this state park, I will close the blue loop. What that means is the blue loop will not be run for who knows how long, until it freezes up or firms up again. So in the event that we close the blue loop, that's just it. Look, we're going to close the blue loop. And it'll reopen once the trails refreeze or refirm up later in the day. Purple is known for having a lot of ice, especially on Cougar Shadow. So if you're going out on the purple loop, you're in the 30 and 15 hour. 30 and 15 hour runners will visit both the blue and purple loops. You should expect some ice out there on that purple loop. So we will close and reopen trails as necessary in order to protect the resource. What does that mean for the race? I'm going to give you my honest answer. Who cares? The race is not what's important here at HPRS. The experience is. What you learn is important at HPRS. So if we're going to close a trail, we're going to close it to protect the trails, to protect the resource. If it is muddy, run through the mud. Do not run around. Do not widen trails. Run through the mud. I expect that 6-hour runners on the warm day, the 6-hour runners, the red and green loops typically have really good drainage, and they should be in really good shape. As of today, Monday, February 7th, I know that there's still snow on the ground down at the state park. With a pretty seasonable week, looking ahead here throughout the week at Fort Carson or down here in Southwest Colorado Springs, highs every day, 45, upper 40s, low 50s, pretty much every day this week, except for Saturday, which is showers of rain and snow. So I expect what little bit of accumulation they got out of the last storm. Last I heard, there was about 5 to 7 inches of snow on the ground. I expect it to, it's really packed down by other trail users. It's going to be a sloppy week. Some of it will dry out by the weekend. Some of it's going to stay sloppy. And we are going to take care of these trails as best as we can throughout the event. So if we end up closing a loop, that's just it. It's closed, and you're going to skip it. You're going to skip and go to purple. So if you guys, again, it's red, green, blue, purple if you're in the 15 or the 30-hour event. Red, green, blue, purple. Red, green, blue, purple. It is entirely possible that you will run red, green, purple. Okay? So just telling you now, it is what it is. Again, a timed event. It's where you run as many miles as you can or want within the allotted time. It's not going to be fair if you had to run a blue loop and somebody didn't have to run a blue loop. Purple's no cakewalk either, kids. So it just is what it is. And we're going to do what's best for the resource first. Okay. We also need firewood. We typically light a fire on Friday night around 7 o'clock. We have a community fire for everybody who's present Friday night. Then we put it out around 10 o'clock. We all go to bed. And then we start the fire again about an hour before start on Saturday. And that fire burns around the clock until the event ends around 2 p.m. on Sunday. So if you have any firewood at home, if you have any brush, any kind of anything that you want to see burned, bring it. We'll burn it. Please bring it. Bring it right to the start-finish line. Dump the wood off right next to the fireplace. We'll take it. We'll burn it. Keeps us comfortable, keeps us warm, helps us with the building of community and being a wonderful community throughout this event. So please, if you got firewood at home, don't be afraid to bring it. Miscellaneous. There is no live tracking at HPRS events. There is no live tracking. Even if you are using one of the 3 apps to track yourself out on the course, that is only tracking yourself. Family and friends from the outside, they're not going to be able to track you live just because you're using the app. Also, last race, we had a runner who was texting his wife throughout the event, and then suddenly he stopped texting her. Why? Because he ventured into the only part of the park where there was no cell phone service. And she freaked out and demanded that we immediately go and find him. Friends, we are trail and ultra running in the mountains. You will not have cell service at all times. However, at Cheyenne Mountain State Park, I will tell you that cell service is spectacular at this state park. So there are a few places where you will lose service, but in general, you will have service. You can connect with your loved ones, let them know how you're doing. But please, make sure your loved ones are well aware of what it is that you're doing, when you will communicate with them, and that you may not communicate with them. But do not have your family send me a Facebook message during the race and demanding that they know where you are. I am not checking Facebook messages. I'm race directing. I have a job to do, and it is not to appease your loved one's need to know where you are at all times. We are all big boys and big girls. We are all adults. There are some children, but their parents will be there. We really can figure this out, kids, all right? Crews and pacers are not welcome in the 6-hour or the 15-hour. No crews or pacers in the 6 or 15-hour. If you are in the 30-hour, you are more than welcome to have a crew, and you are welcome to have pacers starting, I believe it said 8 p.m. Saturday night. So from 8 p.m. Saturday to the end, you can have one pacer at a time accompany you on the course. So that is welcome. But if you are in the 6-hour or the 15-hour, no crews or pacers. However, every single event, 30-hour, 15-hour, and 6-hour, each have a golden hour. That is the last hour of your run. So hour 14 to 15 in the 15-hour, hour 29 to 30 in the 30-hour, and hour 5 to 6 in the 6-hour. During that time, anybody can come on out and share your final miles with you for that last hour. Family, friends, spectators, crews, pacers, whatever. They are just required to pay the park entrance fee to come into the park on that day and join us for the final hour of your race. That is the only time you are allowed any kind of crews, spectators, or pacers in the 15 and 6-hour events. Mary here has a question. She says, if we are trying to support a runner in the 30-hour, do you have any recommendations for things to bring to assist with the rain and snow? Yeah, bring your best rain and snow clothes. We're trail runners. We're running outside. We're year-round. We deal with this at every race. And it really is up to you, Mary. I will say that as a supporter, as a crew, it is crucial. It is crucial that you all are prepared to take care of yourself first. If you have not taken care of yourself, there is no way in hell that you're going to be able to take care of a runner. So make sure you bring all of the clothes and all of the things that you're going to need to keep yourself warm, dry. Personally, for me, I'm bringing everything that I have. I'm bringing my puffy pants, insulated winter pants for when it's cold. I'll have my rain gear for when it's wet. It's, you're welcome to bring your own tent. You're welcome to bring your own canopy. If you would like to set up some shelter for yourself, we'll have some room for that. You can set up a tarp. You can hang out in your car for the day and wait for a text message from your runner informing you that he'll be back at the start-finish line in 10 minutes, at which point you'll get out of the car then. Yeah, as Patrick said, bring your runner fresh socks, a few for yourself too. And forgive me, I'm a filterless, just to the point person. I'm in no intention here to be negative in any way, shape, or form to your question. It's a great question. Again, it's just personal self-care. You need to take care of yourself so that you can care for your runner. But otherwise, if you have a wind machine that will blow the rain and snow to a different town, bring that. We'd love that. Where is it recommended parking for golden hour? Anywhere highlighted in the runner's manual. If there's a spot, they can park there. No dogs. Also, please, no dogs. Do not bring your dog. Don't bring your dog. Dogs are not welcome at HPRS events. Look, I get it. You guys love your dogs. They're a part of the family, but they pose an incredible risk management risk. They are a risk at events like this. And I'm not in the business of trying to dance around doggies and see dog fights and people tripping over leashes and everything, blah, 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 blah. Just like you don't need to bring the dog to Home Depot, you don't need to bring the dog to the race. Please leave the pooch at home. In the manual, it says that you can bring your cat. Somebody did this once. Don't bring your cat either. Yeah, I got to say it. Serious. Awards. Let's talk about our awards. Our awards are now handmade, handcrafted by Stefan Rodriguez at Ragged Cuts in Connecticut. Him and his family work hard on these. Here is the Stories Ultra Medal. It is a multi-layered wood medal. These are beautiful. I cannot get over the level of craftsmanship with these medals. There isn't a burn mark, period, anywhere on this thing. And I'm used to seeing burn marks from laser machines. This is clean. I love this. Here's what your award looks like. We also give out an award at our events called the Transcendence Award. It is the highest honor at HPRS. It comes with a comp entry to yourself for a future event and one for a friend. And it's an award that we give to an individual who we feel is doing just tremendous work on themselves and truly does embody the spirit that we're looking for at HPRS. And that's the spirit, again, to overcome life's many challenges. And so our Transcendence Award, here's what it looks like now. And this will come with a bottle of wine as well. Well, there are the burn marks, but that's okay. You don't see it. So here's our Transcendence Award. Also, at Stories Ultra, we have a very special award for the individual who faces the most adversity out there on this course. It's completely subjective. We're just going to pick somebody who we know struggled hard out there to get the Purple People Eater Award. And yeah, typically this goes to somebody in the 15 or 30 hour, 6-hour kids. Here is this year's Purple People Eater Award. Our beautiful purple monster on there. This guy is also on our shirt. This guy will be on this year's shirt. Real excited to to give you guys the neon shirt that the ink is neon, not the shirt. But anyway, the Purple People Eater Award. Those are our awards. Mary, Amanda here says hot hands may be appreciated. The things that you shake and they warm up to fit in gloves, available at hardware stores and REI. It's a good suggestion. If anybody else has suggestions for Mary, my brain's a little fried right now. We'd love to help her out. Okay. All right. What else we got? Oh, the bibs. Also, remember on the back of your bib is going to be a question. And it is up to you. I will have a podcast recording studio. I actually will have a podcast recording studio this year, an insulated ice fishing tent that if you so choose, you're welcome to come inside to the tent at any time and answer the question that's on the back of your bib. And they are handwritten by myself. And this question here says, what's the lesson that's taken you the longest to learn? That's the example for one of the questions that you may be asked. What's the lesson that's taken you the longest to learn? So there's a question on the back of everybody's bib. Pretty much every question will be asked 3 different times. So it's 3 different runners. 3 different runners will have the same question. At the race, you're welcome to come into my ice fishing tent recording studio, and we'll have a conversation about the question on the back of your bib and yourself. Here's some of your story for the Human Potential Running Series podcast. If you also choose, we can record the answer to your question after the event, and I will gladly do an interview with you via Zoom or FaceTime call, whatever is most convenient for you, and we can answer your question for an episode of the podcast as well. This is not a requirement. It is not required to participate in this event that you answer this question for a podcast. This is for you. Really, it's for you. It's all about stories. I would love to hear your story. I would love to share it with the world on our podcast, but it's not required. Just want to let you know. Finally, and again, I really appreciate Mary asking her question because now it's time for the safety discussion. Number one, read the runner's manual. Read the runner's manual. I didn't make it for my health. I made it for you. I want to remind everybody that trail and ultramarathon running, what we are doing, is an extreme sport. You are participating in an extreme sport. Even if you're in the 6 hour, you're participating in an extreme sport. And the onus is on you to make good decisions for yourself. And one of the first good decisions that you're going to make is to read the runner's manual so that you're prepared for the event. You know where to go, you know what to expect. You may also watch the videos that I provided. One is an intro to trail and ultra running, and the other is a little bit more about the event and how it works. You must accept your personal responsibility. I cannot run the miles for you. I'm not going to hold your hand while we're doing loops. I've never done that. I've never held anybody's hand. That's not a thing here. You signed up for this. Remember, challenge by choice. It's up to you if you come run or not. It's up to you if you're prepared or not. But don't come crying to us if your day doesn't go the way that you had hoped, simply because you didn't do your homework. So it is imperative that you prepare for this event. Bring a light jacket, bring a hat, bring gloves, bring a cheap poncho. Ponchos, those $2 ponchos that you can buy at Walmart, are awesome. Mary, this is a good suggestion too. The $2 ponchos in the camping section at Walmart act as a vapor barrier. What does that mean? Well, it's the same thing as wearing a garbage bag over you, not just to keep the elements off of you, but to keep your heat in. So these cheap plastic ponchos are great at keeping heat and moisture in instead of having it rise and escape. So this is one way that you can stay warm. Don't be a hero. A couple years ago, we had a female runner out here from New York, started peeing blood late in the day on Saturday, and decided that she was just going to go take a nap in the car and then see if it's going to go away. And if it does, I'll keep running, right? Your body, your choice. But when you get out of the car and pee to see if you're still bleeding, and you are, the answer isn't to then go back out into the darkness and continue running loops all night long. It is to take yourself to urgent care so you can stop urinating blood. Again, this is an extreme sport and weird things can happen. It is imperative that you take care of yourself. It is also imperative that you listen to all medical staff and the race directors so that if we determine, hey, it's no longer safe for you to continue, we're not comfortable with it, you need to pull yourself from the event. That's what's happening. Okay? Don't be a hero. You live to run another day. DNF, it means did nothing fatal. So let's be mindful. Keep. You're going to want extras of everything too. If you're running Saturday, it's going to be ish. I don't know how else to say it. Are there any other questions? Now is a great time to ask any other questions. Patrick here, another. Thank you, community, for helping out Mary here. If you plan to go out on the course with your runner, know the course. The Cotrex app is great. And I agree. Are there any other questions? Now is a great time to put your questions into the comments section here on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube right now. I can't see any questions there, though, if you're asking any. While you guys are asking questions, we're going to do a little course preview. So again, briefly, Here's Colorado Springs, again, south of the town, south of the city, and then across the street from, this is all Fort Carson down here. So we are literally across the street from Fort Carson. Here's Colorado Springs proper, and the event is right here at Cheyenne Mountain State Park. If you don't know, Cheyenne Mountain is the backdrop for this event. It's all right here. There is a military Air Force base inside of this mountain. It's also where NORAD is. Very cool place. Just a really cool site to be able to host a race at. And we thank the state park for being willing to have us here for 5 years now. Hard to believe, man. Time definitely flies. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. There's Cheyenne Mountain State Park. I don't want that. I want this. Okay. So here's an overview of where all the loops are, but let's take a look at that red loop first. So here is the red loop. Everybody starts with the red loop. Again, we'll be in Raptors Glen Campground, and Raptors Glen is right here. That's where our start-finish line is. And the red loop here is a clockwise loop. And, you know, it's going to be pretty tricky through this area. There's a couple of junctions here where you can easily go the wrong way. Remember, again, the event used to be down. I'm going to use a different color. The event used to be down here in the Meadows area, but we're not there this year. We're here at Raptors Glen again. So you have no reason to be running across. No reason to be running across the meadow. Let's see. The green loop. I'll put that on here too. You'll notice that the green loop, there's a major junction right here. And the green is also run in the clockwise direction, but as red takes off to the right, green takes off to the left. So this is a major junction on a course. Also, you need to know that blue and purple also head off at this point. So only red heads on to the right at that major intersection. But again, the green loop, you start, it's the same beginning as red, clockwise, but then you branch off here and you add those extra miles and a little bit of that extra elevation gain there. So if you're in the 6 hour, you will alternate between red and green and red and green. So the whole race, you alternate between red and green. And it is red, green, red, green, red, green. If you run 2 greens in a row, the second one will not count. If you run 2 reds in a row, the second one will not count. You must alternate. Okay? If you're in the 15 hour or the 30 hour, you're going to take on the blue loop after green. Again, another loop that is longer, builds on its distance and also builds in elevation gain. Again, the major intersection with red is right here, where red takes off this way and blue heads down this way. This is where green and purple take off and blue continues down. And you run this, I think this is the Talon loop before you head back in and finish. Now, the cool thing here about the blue loop is that this is the same finish as green. Okay? Same finish as green. So once you'll team back up with the green loop, it's green and blue all the way into the finish. Okay? And finally, let's take a look at, we have 2 more, but let's take a look at that purple loop. Purple, my favorite, 7.5 miles long. This is the loop that people have a hard time navigating, and I'm going to show you how blue works and the easiest way to figure it out, okay? So it starts off clockwise, okay? at this major junction, purple heads off here this way. You do not go this way at this time. Blue heads that way. You come to another junction right here, and you continue to stay to the right until you get to this junction. And this is where you run this loop counterclockwise. Okay? So, purple, you start out clockwise, you get here to the midway, and you go all the way past, like you're going to finish blue and green. Blue and green continue this way, but instead of coming in this way, which you don't do, this is where you're going to come and go around this way. When you get back to this junction, you head this way, and when you get this junction, you head this way. And then you come into the finish line. So that is how purple works. We market what we feel is really well. Again, you have Cotrex, you have Gaia if you have a subscription to this Gaia platform. You've got the HRRS app. You've got 3 different apps that you can use to show you which way to go. What is imperative for you is to know what to do at each of these junctions. There's just 3 junctions. What are you doing at these 3 junctions? The first time, you're going to keep going straight to the farthest point out. Then you're coming around counterclockwise. You're coming back this way. Okay? And then finally, we have the golden loop. This is the final loop of every hour of every event. You just run this gold loop. It is 0.61 miles long. You will start by coming down the hill, and you run right here, and then you come back in. It is it is clockwise. So it's a lollipop clockwise. Out again. You come down the hill, you come out, stay to the left, finish up your loop, and head back up. That's it. This is your family and friends. They can all join you for this loop. Okay? 0.61. Not a big deal. For you. Not a big deal for you. It could be a big deal for fam. All right, let's go. Let's see if we have any questions. Anastasia, no theme. The theme is overcome. That is our theme this year. Amanda, no bathrooms on the course, right? Got to hang in there until the start finish. Actually, there are some bathrooms scattered throughout the park. Most of them will not be open. I will tell you that there is a bathroom down off where the blue loop branches off, blue and purple, red and green. There's a big trailhead down there by the main entrance gate to the state park. And near that trailhead, there is a bathroom, and you can access that bathroom. That's the only bathroom on course besides the one up near us. Correct. Otherwise, no, there will be no other bathrooms out on the course. So the start finish, and then pretty much halfway through the green loop, blue and purple. Probably like a third of the way through blue and purple is where it is. Jane says every tree is a bathroom. That's correct. No hiding in the bathrooms overnight. Yeah, we had a guy sleeping on the bathroom floor one year. Not recommended. It's not the cleanest place to be taking a nap. Jacob asked about deep frying turkeys. I am not deep frying turkeys this year. We lost our turkey fryer. It just got beat up in storage. However, our friends at Clear Creek Vittles are coming out. That would be Sam Wagner. He will be there with let me tell you, I'm going to read you this menu. No, Reynaldo. Everybody entering the park does not pay the fee. Runners, I pay the fee for you. It's included in your entry fee if you are a runner. Your vehicle's paid for. But everybody else, family, friends, crew, yep, they are. And that is detailed in the runner's manual. All right, let's see. Here is our menu from Clear Creek Vittles. We are going to have banana bread muffins, pork gyoza, roasted potatoes, chicken and rice, miso soup, and pork tinga quesadillas. So that will happen mostly on Saturday with leftovers spilling over into Sunday. Yeah. And then, so that's your menu. Banana bread muffins, pork gyoza, roasted potatoes, chicken and rice, miso soup, pork tinga quesadillas. We will also have pasta sauce. You could have pasta without sauce. We're also going to have plenty of broth and cup of noodles. Costco finally stocked cup of noodles. I'm going to buy a ton of that. So if you guys want cup of noodles, you can have that instead of miso soup. I'll also be making pancakes on Sunday morning. But we are not a restaurant. I think that's it. That's all that I have. If there are no other questions, thank you so much to all of you who have asked questions this evening. Some really great ones. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to rain snow shower on Saturday. So bring whatever you would typically need to be outside in rain and snow showers. Again, if you want to bring your own canopy, your own little tent, a beach tent, a tarp, hang something off your car, whatever you need to do to make it comfortable for you, you're more than welcome to do that. I cannot change the weather. I also can't really tell you what to do, but some really great suggestions here. So thank you to Mary for asking the question and everybody else here for offering their suggestions. If you have any questions throughout this week, please don't hesitate to email me. My personal email is sherpajohn, SHERPAJOHN @gmail.com. Happy to... Oh, another great question, Mary. She says, I missed the beginning of the live stream. I apologize. Does every runner get a campsite? My runner is asking if he should plan for that. Mary, if your runner is in the 30 hour, he has a campsite on Friday and Saturday night. That is included. If you are in the 15 hour, you have a campsite on Friday night. If you are in the 6 hour, I have no campsites for you. Campsites are just for 15 and 30 hour runners. You are welcome to sleep in your car. You're welcome to sleep in your adventure van. I cannot guarantee that you will have a flat surface to be on, but if you happen to get one, awesome. Again, if you're in the 30 and 15 hour and you'll be sleeping in your vehicle, we're going to hook you up with as flat a surface as we can find. But yes, if you're in the 30 hour, you have a campsite Friday and Saturday night. If you're in the 15 hour, you have a campsite Friday night, not Saturday. If you're in the 6 hour, you have no campsite. Thank you, Mary. Anybody else? Really excited for this weekend. We've been off since Sawmill. Sawmill was December 11th. Emily and I went off to Mexico. We got married like right after the race ended. We hopped on a plane, flew to Mexico, got married. We spent a week down there, came home. We had Christmas, New Year's. I enjoyed my January break. I'm ready to get back to race directing. I'm going crazy. It's one of those things where you realize how much you love doing what you do when you're not doing it. I really miss seeing everybody. I miss being out there. I miss... I got one more thing. I have a new friend. His name is Chester. And Chester is a chicken. Chester the chicken is going to start every race from now on. We don't have a starting gun. I never know what to say. I hate just saying go. I used to say have fun storming the castle. But now we have a giant rubber chicken who has the capability of screaming for 45 straight seconds. So, yes, this is not a joke. So Chester's going to start every race from now on. When you hear Chester screaming, That means go. We're going to make them sound off again when it's time for our golden hour. And we're going to sound them off again when the race, when we've hit our official cutoff. You'll hear Chester again. So really excited to bring Chester out. I know that Emily is excited to get Chester out of the house. I don't play with him nearly as much as I would like. There he is. We got Chester. Guys, it's just running. We're not going to the moon. We're not going to war. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're just going out for a run in the mountains this weekend, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to do it together. Great food, great atmosphere, campfire, camping out, awesome people. We have an awesome community of runners. Anastasia's coming. Patrick is coming. Danuta will be there. We got the A-team of volunteers coming out. I'm so excited for this weekend's race. I hope that you are too. We can't wait to see you down there at Colorado Springs. Thank you so much for hanging on here to the end of this meeting so you can all meet Chester. Can't wait to see you all this weekend down at Colorado Springs. Again, if you can volunteer, you know somebody who does, please have them sign up. Read through your runner's manual, the Google Drive, get yourselves prepped, and we'll see you this weekend at Cheyenne Mountain State Park for the 5th annual Stories Ultra. For the Human Potential Running Series, I'm John LaCroix. We'll see you soon.